Hello everyone, welcome back to the Captain's Vlog. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
Eric and I are going to talk just for a few minutes about some recent news. It's been like 5 weeks since Eric and I did one of these. Jason and I did a Captain's Vlog about 3 weeks ago, and so I tackled some kind of major, more kid-friendly kind of news then. So there's not a ton to talk about.
No, when we talked about the other day, we're like, oh, but almost nothing's happened in 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. There's like a lot of really minor things, like people have sent me a lot of news articles, but not a ton of stuff that I just feel the need to talk a lot about. And we've also talked about some things on the Captain Logan show. So
yeah.
We'll mention a few things, and then we're going to do letters pages here in this segment, and we're going to answer just a few questions right at the end. So let's go ahead and get to it, Eric, and we'll talk about as many things as we can here in about 15 minutes or so. The Iron Fist Season 2 trailer did not blow me away.
Did it blow anyone away?
I don't know.
It looks like more of the same.
Yeah.
It's a huge mistake. And that's coming out like
Or are you worried, or do you think it's possible they just cut it wrong?
I think they cut it. I hope they cut it wrong.
That's my hope too, but I'm telling you, he does not right away look like the character that we saw that we kind of loved in Luke Cage.
Nope. It looks like more the same, and that's...
It's disturbing. I mean, there's maybe a couple things you could point to where you're like, look, choreography, but...
Yeah, it looks better.
But then, I didn't think too much of that with the original trailer for the first series, for the first season. Now I'm British. For the first season, and then they just showed you what little action was actually in the show, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of problematic. So we had some new details about the Favreau Star Wars show. I'm trying to remember what exactly they are. What period is that? Isn't it like? Is it like right after 6?
It's right after 6, and it's going to deal with Mandalore.
That's right.
Because we're just doubling and tripling down on everything that Clone Wars ruined. So, hooray! Why Favreau? Like, I would think Favreau would be who you would give like a lighter, like I guess Favreau's sensibilities actually make a lot of sense for Star Wars. So maybe. I don't know. That sounds like a political show. That sounds like they're trying to do like Star Wars, Game of Thrones kind of a thing. I don't know why Favreau's the guy for that.
I'm not sure either. I mean, it's at least a creator that I have liked before.
Yeah.
I'm not immediately getting excited about anything Star Wars right now. I mean, I'm wait and see about everything. So I mean, I'm not quite where Eric's at, where Eric seems almost like done with Star Wars.
No,
I'm
done with current Star Wars. They just keep putting out more and more things, all like trash.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I will try that, partly because it's Favreau, and partly because live-action Star Wars is kind of a big deal. But we might as well go ahead and talk about that new cartoon show. It does not look good.
It looks awful.
What is that, Resistance?
Yeah, because they already did Rebels, and they're just making the same thing. But it's... Like, watching it, it looks like the most un-Star Wars thing you could possibly make. Like, it looks like they went out of their way to go, well, we hate Star Wars, and we're going to make it the most modern thing we can possibly do it, and have none of the sensibilities of anything that resembles Star Wars. Now, that doesn't mean...
This is not far and away from how you describe Last Jedi.
I mean, it's coming from the same place of humor.
Yeah.
Now, some of the humor, like... doesn't necessarily look bad. Like, some of the humor looks like stuff like in Voltron, stuff like that. It's not Star Wars.
I mean, I don't even know if the animation looks terrible. I mean, like the backgrounds and stuff are pretty well rendered. It's kind of nice that we're going back to 2D, I guess. But
like with all the issues that I have with Clone Wars and what I saw Rebels or whatever, although I like Rebels more than you did, it still felt like Star Wars. This is, well, I guess. It's not actually Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni apparently is overseeing this, but he's actually working on making the rest of Clone Wars, and that kind of shows. It's just salt in the wound. It's just like, we don't care. We're not even gonna try and make it seem like we're making Star Wars anymore.
I mean, to be fair,
buy our X-wings.
A thing like that has to be in development for a while, which means they probably didn't get a chance to respond much with the animation they're doing to reservations about Last Jedi that might have affected that. I mean, I realize that's a polarizing film and a lot of people do like it, but I see course correction from Disney with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see that happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that looks like it's still coming from the same place of, well, if it has Star Wars on it, it'll sell, and they are not thinking that right now.
Yeah.
And so there's every possibility that it starts off not great and gets better. Who knows what it'll be? Maybe it was just a bad cut trailer. I always say that, but maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they just showed you all the stuff that they thought fans after Last Jedi would want to look at, and then we look at it, it's actually kind of an okay show. I don't know.
Sure.
Eric's like, that's not going to happen, but
It's not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying that, like, I do see some massive course correction happening after this.
Yeah.
So we might be in a...
But this show will run 11 seasons, and all the people that right now are piping up about, like, oh, it's a kid's show, you can't judge a kid's show, they're also going to tell me how much they love that show. So, you know.
The next John Wick movie has a subtitle, and I don't like that they're doing that, not knowing what that movie is yet, but it's called John Wick Parabellum, and I just feel like you want to keep going with chapter numbers. Like,
on the commentary for 2, he says John Wick 3 will probably not be chapter 3.
oh, okay.
They want every...
Is it just going to be so much of a different thing that it would make sense?
They want every sequel to have, like, its own name thing. So, like, I don't know what you do after you do subtitle and part, or chapter, but he said that he kind of wants each film to kind of feel like its own thing, and so it's going to have its own way it deals with the subtitle thing.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Well, I wish they'd done that with the second one then.
Well, the second one's chapter 2.
Well, okay, and I guess the first one's not called chapter 1, but...
No, yeah, he wants each film to have, like, its own naming scheme thing. Like, I would not be surprised...
I think that's weird.
I would not be surprised
whatever.
if the fourth one is, like, Return of John Wick or something like that. Where they just keep playing with it.
I guess I'm a stickler for consistency, and
this sounds like it's intentionally not being consistent.
It's consistent by not being consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's fun.
Sure.
I looked up that word. It's really funny if you look up that word. It means guns. Like it's got like obviously like a Latin derivative, but like it basically just means guns.
Last time I looked, and this could have changed by now. I've not looked back at this again, but Tom Cruise was apparently in talks to play Green Lantern. I don't know if that's still on the table or not.
And may have spoiled Green Lantern Corps. Because he said he would only do it if Hal Jordan didn't die. Which suggests he may have been handed a script where Hal Jordan dies.
I'm going to check and make sure that that's still the case, because it's been a while since I wrote that down. But in the meantime, so Watchmen, the HBO show, they made a pilot, and it's already gone to series. So that is definitely happening.
Okay.
That's no surprise, really.
That sequel, remix, reboot?
Yeah, whatever in the world that was. Tom Cruise. Anybody could be doing this right now, but here we are. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Saying that he's not playing Hal Jordan?
No, I don't like. Apparently, he was in talks. Some places are talking about that more as rumor territory, and others are saying like he's actually in talks. So I don't know.
Okay.
I guess, hopefully we'll find out. We'll find that out soon. Do you have like thoughts about that?
About Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like, I said this to you the other day. I kind of like that idea more if he is killed off in that movie,
Me
right?
too.
Like,
and especially if Hal's like a more seasoned, he's been around the Tom Cruise. He would never do it, but it'd be cool if they did the parallax thing.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise would be the guy for it, or could be.
I think
he'd be
great for that.
Yeah, he won't do it because he doesn't play bad guys, but it could be really cool.
It's too bad. No, if you're going to do a stunt casting thing, it kind of makes more sense if you're going to kill him off, and like we need to stop hiring middle-aged actors to play characters that we want to go on for a long time.
Yeah, for like a decade. Yeah.
That's the mistake. We need to quit doing that. It made sense with Downey in a way it's not making with some of these other people. Like we need to quit doing that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't already like 55. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's weird.
He's a guy in a suit.
It does not surprise me at all if they want to kill Hal Jordan off.
Yeah.
And go on with some other Green Lanterns, because in their minds, like that's the character that ruined the franchise.
Yeah.
Which it's not the character's fault, but I can see why they're doing that. Did you hear about this? That Blumhouse is interested in reviving Dark Universe.
Yes,
which
I'm really excited.
Totally,
they're the people that should do it.
The people to do it, yeah.
Yep.
Because they'll make those. They'll actually make monster movies.
Yeah. They might actually make them horror movies, and they'll make them for like $10 million.
Did you read anywhere that there was like any sense that they actually had a chance at getting the rights?
No. I just know that they said they were interested.
I don't know how that
even in
happens.
talks.
Yeah, I don't know how that even happens unless it's like a in conjunction with kind of thing, or if Universal just decides they don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is what they should do, because they're in kind of bad shape with that. But no, so that's exciting. You should probably talk about the 007 thing and the movie getting pushed back. We talked about this a little bit on the Captain Logan show.
Yeah.
But go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit. Danny Boyle leaving and all that.
Yeah, so Danny Boyle has left because apparently... So he comes on, he brings his own writer, whose name is John Hodge, and they write a script, and they throw away Purvis and Wade's script, which is the best thing, which is how you should start every James Bond movie. Just throw away Purvis and Wade's script and fire them. They're everything wrong with the franchise. But so John Hodge writes this script that's apparently very much about the kind of modern Cold War and Russia being the bad guys again, and like is going to kind of explore some of that, and maybe I would imagine like how little things have changed and things like that. Apparently they didn't like that idea, and so Danny Boyle said, "Well, that's the movie I want to make, so bye." And originally it was reported that they were going to keep the script and just kind of like, rewrite it into oblivion or whatever. Now it's been pushed back, which thank God, because it was not immediately announced it was going to be pushed back, and I was like, oh, well, so we're just going to have this like a super compromise, like it's going to be Spectre all over again.
Yeah, and you don't want that to happen.
No, someone could come in with real vision. Like it's not necessarily going to be terrible.
On the face of it, not knowing what that script looked like, I can kind of see why they didn't want to make that movie.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds really self-serious and potentially kind of pretentious. I don't totally know what that would have looked like, but like, and maybe they were thinking like we don't want to do anything so like on the nose about current issues. Like maybe we don't want to make the Russia movie in the middle of the Russia Trump scandal. I don't know. But I can see why maybe they wouldn't want to do that.
But it seems like that's such a natural place for that to go, like, because James Bond is like always associated with the Cold War. Like, oh, there's a new Cold War kind of on. Wouldn't you want to deal with that? Wouldn't you want to play with that?
Yeah, like just as an idea, that's not a horrible idea. But I'm getting flashes of what's the second movie they made? They did Casino Royale, and then they did
Gonzalez.
Yeah, which I didn't like because it was way too, I don't know if preachy is the right word, it's been a while since I've seen it, but like the eco stuff in that was like so in your face. And my worry is that the anti-Russia stuff would be so in your face.
I really like that aspect of Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace is not a great movie, but I really like that it's a whole movie about oil, and then you realize it's not. It's about water and what an important resource water is. Especially with
it's been forever since I've seen it, so
yeah.
if I watched it again, I might appreciate that more.
Well,
but I remember feeling beat over the head with stuff. With that, and as soon as I heard that premise, I was like, that doesn't sound fun at all. I don't want that movie, and I was kind of glad to hear it wasn't getting made. Honestly,
I think it could be interesting. This just James Bond: The Cold War is so which
I'm not saying it
isn't even really fair because James Bond films are actually kind of apolitical. Like Russia's never the bad guys. But people associate that in their mind.
That's part of why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It's like those aren't traditionally political films. Like I don't know if you really want to do that.
But it could be a movie I love. Like I don't know. And I imagine with it being Danny Boyle, it was going to be more.
It's on the face of it.
Down and dirty.
On the face of it would have been a horrible thing.
Mm.
I can't get excited about it until I see it. You know
That's fair. That's fair. I thought it sounded like an interesting premise. But
this news does not bother me at all.
I'm just worried because they had like an auteur and like his writer who's won Oscars, and they put away their James Bond script to let them make like a real movie, where it's kind of what it sounds like. They're like, oh, we didn't actually want you to do that. Why we thought you were just gonna make like another one.
No, that's sucky.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah.
But you also didn't read it.
No, I didn't.
And it's possible it was terrible.
That's entirely possible.
But who knows?
But it doesn't sound like they thought it was terrible. They just didn't want to go there.
Yeah. Well, who knows
Yeah.
goes on behind
Yeah.
the scenes
Yeah.
and things like that. So you're not going to care about this because you're not going to go see this movie, but new actors for Star Wars Episode 9 include Dominique Monaghan and Matt Smith, and...
Dominique Monaghan, that sounds familiar.
yeah, that's Charlie from Lost.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
So, both those actors in Star Wars now.
Cool.
So, who knows who they're playing and what that's going to be like. But, yeah. A lot of people worried that tells you what the comedy sensibility is going to be of that. But I've not seen Matt Smith in anything else, so I don't know if he's versatile in what else he does. Like, I'm not going to immediately assume things about that casting.
Sure.
IDW is going to do an all-ages Spider-Man book.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Real weird.
Yeah.
But also lends credence to the possibility of IDW doing all ages Alien Predator comics, so.
Why do you say that?
Because Disney owns Fox.
Yeah.
Which means Marvel's going to start making the Alien Predator comics.
Why
Which
would they do
means
all ages ones?
IDW could possibly do all ages Alien Predator. Like
That's hilarious.
AVP Adventures.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I never thought I would see them actually do superhero stuff for Marvel.
No, I was
under
under
able
the
to get Star Wars, and that was already kind of surprising. But like,
well, and I was under the impression that contract was like just Star Wars. I didn't realize that like they were going to get other properties.
you know what bothers me about it?
That there's a Spider-Man comic being published not by Marvel.
No,
And how weird that is.
That's weird. What I don't like about it is that, first of all, I don't want IDW to get painted as the kid company, because they do other stuff. I mean, they do a lot of other stuff, obviously.
I don't think they're paying as the
And
company.
no, they could be though if they keep doing this kind of thing. Okay, so they got Sonic now because Archie got rid of it, and they're doing the all ages Star Wars comic, and now they're doing Spider-Man, and they've been doing Cartoon Network stuff for a long time, and they did Back to the Future, which read like an all ages comic. Like, I'm really concerned that if they take on a whole lot of this kind of, like they do the cartoon Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles is already kind of thought of it as a kid's book by some people, even though it's not. Like, I kind of think that if they take on a whole lot of that stuff, they might change their image too much.
Maybe.
And I guess part of the reason I'm saying that is I don't like that Marvel feels the need to go to IDW for a kid's comic when they could just freaking make one.
Yeah, but they suck at those.
Well, yeah, but they could just get the right artisan, right? Like, what's the difference between Marvel making it versus IDW making it?
Yeah, I guess. Except
It's
Marvel's just failed again and again, I guess.
No, that's true. But I don't know how well that Star Wars comic's doing at IDW.
Yeah,
And
and I hope that Spider-Man one's not like that Star Wars one, because that
Me
Star
too.
Wars one's like anthology.
It's
like,
anthology.
It's like 3 or 4 page stories.
yeah, and I'm afraid that's what Spider-Man will be. I don't think it'll be any better at IDW than it
No, that's
would
fair.
at Marvel, unless they do it right. Like I started off saying this is cool. It's cool because it's unprecedented because I love IDW, and I like that they're going to have something like that because it'll be helpful. It'll be good for them. On the other hand, I'm a little bit worried about their image.
Sure.
Maybe that, like, I didn't even think about that until I started talking about it. But like now I'm like, oh, I don't know how good of a thing this is. So I'm back and forth on it.
Fair.
So the other day I told you, Eric, that Alec Baldwin was going to play Thomas Wayne in the Joker movie.
Yeah.
He's already out.
Weird.
4 days later, or maybe it was yesterday. He's already said he doesn't want to. He's not going to do it now. And he went on record to say, 25 other people could play that role, and so he doesn't want to do
Would
it.
suggest that would suggest that he's barely in it.
Yeah, or that he looked at the script and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think he was a really good pick, and it's kind of sad that he's not going to get to play it.
No, I agree.
And it'll be interesting to see who does. Like, he's a really good pick.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think that's kind of unfortunate. He also cited scheduling conflicts, but it sounded a lot like he just didn't really want to do it.
Back for Mission Impossible 8 or 7.
We haven't talked about the Beast Morphers trailer, so we can do that real briefly, and then move on.
The one that you thought was a fan film?
At first, I thought it was a fan film trailer.
Or fan edit trailer, yeah.
No, I thought it was a trailer for a fan film. I really did.
I was like,
what am I looking at?
That's cool.
Now,
we'll see what happens when the show gets made.
yeah,
Because we also
doesn't look
thought
like they did any American
Ninja Steel looked cool.
Yeah.
And everything that was cool about that trailer is in the first episode and nothing else.
So far, all of the stuff that Hasbro has put their fingers on still says Saban's Power Rangers, and I wonder if that's going to stick.
Yeah.
Because they finally have shown us some of their new Power Ranger line and what that's going to look like, and it still says Saban's Power Rangers.
That's interesting.
And they're keeping that logo, that 25th anniversary logo, that we saw like weeks before Hasbro got the license. So I don't know what exactly that contract looks like. Like, does Saban still have partial ownership to some degree, or did Hasbro want Saban's name on it for authenticity, so they like signed that into the contract and Saban's allowing it? Like, I wonder how that happens.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I don't know if this is interesting to anybody else, but I'm just wondering about it. Well, Eric, did you have anything else? Because there was just not a lot of news this time.
No.
I'm sure there's something where people are like, how did you not talk about this? But
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do a few questions from the letters pages. The first one comes from Cinematographic. Since they've had no character development in live action or animation, should the Fantastic Four characters serve as only supporting characters to the overall MCU?
No.
No.
Next question.
That's it's an odd question, and part of the reason I wanted to ask it is because, or I wanted to address it.
Since Cyclops just been sidelined for 6 movies,
Let's just do anything with him.
Never have anything done with Cyclops.
But that's a really and I don't mean to make fun of Cinematographic. I think that's really telling because I think a lot of people that aren't FF fans and haven't looked at, and I don't know about Cinematographic, but I think a lot of people feel that way, and a lot of people assume that there's nothing to the FF and what is the point of doing them because they haven't seen anything done well with them yet. I don't know why people make that leap. Like you say, why would the fact that not enough great stuff has been done with them before preclude the idea of it being done later? Maybe it just hasn't been handled well yet, and we haven't. I mean, like, we tried an FF movie with Fox during this onslaught of decent superhero movies, but that was mired in all kinds of craziness. Like, it's never been handled right.
It sounded like it might have been handled right before Disney bought them.
Yeah, it did. So we'll see what happens after that.
We're not going to get a
after
Matthew
that.
Vaughn written, or
Probably
not Brian K. Vaughn written.
No, probably not, and that hurts my feelings, because that would likely have been absolutely amazing. But anyway, Dave Atkins asks, where do you see the computer/video game industry in 20 years' time?
Being used for kindling, because we're all just trying to breathe, and
that's hilarious. It's an interesting question. It's like, in 20 years, do we still have video game consoles, or are we still doing it that way?
The question is, do they become one and the same? Do we actually get the VR thing where, like, the internet is just online?
What do you mean?
Where the internet is just like a virtual reality world?
Well, maybe
I think. In a way that in 2008 I never would have thought was possible. I feel like that's on the table again.
That doesn't mean that it changes the video game industry itself that drastically, right? Like, motion control didn't catch on. VR has been very slow. It's not caught on real hard. 20 years is not enough time where a lot of the people playing video games now aren't going to still want to basically play them the same way they're playing them now 20 years from now, is my thinking. I wonder if there's not kind of I don't know if stagnation is the right word, but if we don't kind of hold it back just by what people are used to, you know what I mean? And in kind of the same way that comics continue to come out issue to issue, month to month, we're just doing that because we've always done it that way. And I wonder if that kind of thing ends up, like, video games are changing in how we buy the media. A lot of people download things instead of getting hard copies, but are we still going to have, like, 3 or 4 companies with consoles that are that are vying for power, for dominance? Like, does that still, like, I don't know. I think it's a very difficult thing to predict.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, computer gaming, like, more of that is just going to phones and things. But I feel like the internet itself is becoming more app-based. Like, it almost feels like desktops are becoming a thing of the past. Where, I mean, obviously versus laptops, but, like, I go to a lot of websites now on a regular computer that look like they're set up more for a phone.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's hard to say how all that ends up ultimately shaking out. I mean, I think the next group of video game consoles is going to continue to be more and more an all-in-one machine that does everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think that eventually it would all get consolidated into one device where, you know...
The only thing keeping that from happening is corporations' greed.
Yeah. But also, I don't know that necessarily means progress. Like, some things are just impractical to put on your phone. Like, I don't know that I want my phone to also be a video game console.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it seems like you would need, like, an adapter to plug in controllers and stuff.
Just your phone is the controller. It's just cast to the TV.
Yeah, you ever tried playing phone games where the phone is the controller? Like, I need physical buttons I can press down, you know what I mean? Anyway you slice it, there's some kind of adapter that you have to put on it to play certain games.
You'll buy button thumb things, so it feels like you're pressing buttons.
Yep. The Wii got some things right, didn't it? It predicted some stuff. Daniel Slagle, what are your thoughts on Grant Morrison writing Green Lanterns this November, and what comic book writers did you used to love that you don't care for anymore?
I mean, I'm excited about Grant Morrison. He's doing it as like a space cop book, and that sounds exciting.
I want to say we talked about this a little bit on another video, but I forget. But
I think we just talked about when we were walking around.
That's the thing I can never remember. That's the thing I'll certainly read and trade.
Yeah. No, I will give it a try. Garth Ennis. I really like Garth Ennis's. I love Preacher. I love his Hellblazer. I love his Punisher. After that, I don't like The Boys. Like, it just seems like he got real extreme and like real. I don't know. Like, because I want to think like maybe it's I grew up a little bit and his sensibilities are a little juvenile. But then I go back to his old stuff that still plays. Like, I don't know, something. I don't know if Garth Ennis changed or if I changed or if he's just. I don't know.
At one time, I would have said Jeff Loeb, and then I keep going back to earlier Jeff Loeb things and not being sure that I liked him as well as I used to.
Or like at all, ever.
We were harder on Long Halloween than I ever thought we would have been.
And that's supposed to be the good one.
Yeah. I mean, there's good stuff in that book, but...
there's good stuff in a lot of Jeff Loeb books.
Sure.
Doesn't mean the whole thing works.
I'm trying to think of other writers that really fell off. I mean, Bendis lately, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an obvious place to go, but,
yeah.
Lately. Morrison has definitely not dropped off for me. I've liked more of his recent stuff than even some of his older stuff. I mean, I know there's a lot of older stuff that people really swear by with Morrison, but I like some of his more straightforward stuff, and I was so in love with Klaus.
Mm.
So I don't know, I'm having a hard time coming up with other really good ones.
And for you, Mark Waid.
Yeah, but that's not totally fair, because I haven't sampled a lot else besides Avengers lately, and I really liked that for a minute, and then he did some things that made me kind of turn on it. So, I don't know. Daniel Eldridge, last question. Why do you think the DC animated films have lasted so long? They outlasted the animated Marvel films, which I'd love you guys to tackle sometime. Did they do something better? That's a great question.
Well, they started stronger in the first place.
It's kind of hard to say. Yeah.
Those Marvel films are at best watchable.
But a lot of the DC movies seem to barely perform well enough to even be, continue to be made. I have remained kind of surprised that they're still making those.
No, it is surprising, but also, I mean, Marvel doesn't worry about cartoons. It has a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's a great point. No, of course. Like, for me, the more interesting part of that question is less compared to Marvel and more, why at all? Do those movies keep getting made?
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they built
Which is weird
a
because
house.
there's no passion in those. Yeah.
No, it seems like they built a house and they hired people, and those people want to keep their jobs. Like, I think that's probably the answer. And they do well enough to survive.
Or they think somehow that offsets like Teen Titans Go. Where it's like, yeah, we're making kiddie stuff, but we're making these for you guys. They suck, but you will enjoy them because they say some naughty words.
No, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
And I think it's entirely possible they will go away if DC streaming universe whatever catches on, or they will just be direct to that.
Yeah, you think they'll keep making those? I mean, if they make a thing that is technically a feature film, they will keep putting it on physical media. Even if they don't release as many copies, I would think.
Mm.
it makes them continue to look relevant. I wonder if part of the reason they don't do it is to just get them in brick and mortar stores so that it looks like DC's producing stuff.
You'll always see them in Walmart.
In Target.
Yep.
I wonder if that's not a lot of it. Folks, that's going to do it for us this time for the Geekvolution Omnibus. Thanks a bunch for watching. We sure appreciate it. And Eric and I are going to be back with you in 3 weeks, and we're going to do a partial Transformers theme show. That's what we're doing next time. We will probably not have enough Transformers content to do our entire show that way, but we're going to do at least a few things, and we're going to finally review Last Stand of the Records, which people have been asking us to do forever. I'm not a giant Transformers guy. I've been learning more, especially as Eric has been here, and as I've been watching some of the shows a little bit, and I've now really done my bit on the 86 movie. So, I know a little bit here and there, but this is going to be a lot more of kind of Eric's forte. I don't know what exactly we're going to be reviewing beyond that, but we'll try to get at least a few things in, and obviously we'll have some more requests. And movie-wise, we've got Predator for next time.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if anything else, and I don't know when Iron Fist drops.
I think it's before next time.
So we may have that watched by then, but it's more likely it'll be the omnibus after that. Especially if we don't like it.
Yeah. Although
anyway,
somehow we watched through like the first season like really quickly.
we blew through it. I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
We've had Defender since then. I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, thanks again for watching. We sure appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to seeing your comments. We'll see you again in 3 weeks, and of course, I'll see you before that with other things. Check out the Captain Logan Show on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time, and I will have the Daredevil rewind to you as soon as I can. I'm Captain Logan.
All right.
See you later, folks.